Hi guys, I'm the Lag Doctor Clay Ballard, and today we're going to go over some swing changes that Tiger Woods has made over the years. On the left we have his current swing from 2013, and on the right we have his former swing from 2000. We're going to talk about some of the differences he's made and some of the things that Sean Foley's working on with him and how this can affect his body. So we're going to talk about his left knee and some changes he's made to help guard that left knee, and also some changes he's made over the years, both with Haney and with Foley, to try to reduce that inside-out swing path, limit getting stuck, and to limit those blocks and hooks. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to draw your attention to is stance width. So I'm going to go ahead and mark. This is a great way to check your stance width. Go ahead and draw two vertical lines from the center of your ankles here. And if you draw those vertically, you're going to be able to see both your stance width and your position at setup, whether you're leaning forward or back or if you're nice and centered. So we can see here that Tiger's stance width is quite a bit wider on the right, which was back in 2000. This is from the Nike commercial here. So we can see his ankles are quite a bit outside his shoulders, where here his ankles are a little inside of his shoulder. And he has a tendency to stay a little bit more stacked now. That's one of the things he's been working on with Foley. But with a narrower stance, now he can load up onto his right side. So they talk about him staying centered and not transitioning his weight. But here, he's definitely loaded up his chest onto the right side, and he has some weight on the inside of this right foot. And you can see this because his left knee is pretty nice and relaxed. So he is loading up on his right side, at least early in the backswing. Right here, most of his weight is on the inside of his right foot. I don't want it swaying to the outside of his right foot or way over here to the right, but he definitely has loaded up some weight on the right side. The difference you'll see is that look how much more he had to sway away from this left ankle in 2000. With that wider stance, now you're going to have to sway a lot farther to the right during your takeaway and backswing to get fully loaded. Whereas with a narrower stance, now you're not going to have to sway as much. So you can see he's staying closer to that left ankle line that we drew earlier. This is going to help him to shift back over to the left and become more stacked later in the swing, which is one of their main changes. You'll also notice that he keeps his hips kind of bumped over here toward this line during the backswing. So now on the video on the right, this older swing, he's probably a good 8 inches away from that line, whereas here he's only 2 to 3. That means when he starts to shift down, he's going to get right back on that line very soon and very easily. Whereas over here on the former swing, 2000 swing, now he's going to have to shift a lot if he wants to get back on that line, and the tendency is going to be to hang back. And this is the main difference he's made in his swing, is trying to not hang back as much and reduce that inside swing path. So let's look at halfway down into the swing here. You're going to notice that his left hip and his left shoulder are almost stacked on this line. That's exactly what he's looking to do, is get nice and stacked. What that's going to do is help him to reduce that inside-out swing path and swing more down the target line. On the right, you're going to see that he's doing something quite a bit different, and now instead of getting stacked over that line, he's hanging back. So here is his, let me get rid of some of these X's. Here is his left hip socket as he goes to impact now, and here's his left shoulder. So he's hanging back. He's quite a bit behind this left ankle. Let's go ahead and compare that to his current swing, where we can see he's much more stacked on top of this ball. Now he's stacked, he's more vertical, where here he's hanging back more. Now, the advantage and disadvantage of this, when you're hanging back, you're going to hit a more ascending angle of attack. This can help you to hit longer drives, but the problem with this is that it's going to hurt your left hip, or put more, not going to hurt your left hip, it possibly could hurt your left hip. It's going to put more strain on your left hip and your left knee, because you can see all this force is going down and into that left knee, whereas here it's more stacked and a more neutral alignment, and the knee is designed, the hip is designed to take a load this way and to bear load this way. So it helps a little bit with distance. If you're going to do long drive, you'd want to tilt away like this. If you want to be consistent and promote a more square impact, then you want to be more stacked like this. So let me show you exactly what I mean from down the line, and then I want you to do a test for me. Okay, so here's Tiger way back. This is probably 97, 96, somewhere back when he was playing in one of the amateur tournaments, probably the U.S. Amateur. But what we're talking about here is he's hanging back a little bit. Look at that across the line too. He's definitely got that. That's something he's got out of the habit of doing from when he was an amateur. He's definitely not hanging back as much. So when you hang back, what I mean by this is now we're going to see that his club is coming down his forearm, which this is very blurry, but his club is coming from the inside of his forearm and swinging out to the right as he comes through this shot. Now, it's not extremely noticeable. He was still in a pretty good position here, but he's definitely swinging a few degrees more out to the right and hanging back, and this allows for some errant shots. So we can see how much his hips and body are spinning open here. This right foot's way up off the ground, and all of this is just attributing to him swinging a little bit more out to the right through impact and having the tendency to hit blocks or snap hooks. Now let's go ahead and look at this from down the line now after the changes. Okay, so here's a more recent swing of Tiger, and we watched in the last video back from when he was an amateur. Definitely gotten rid of that across the line position we talked about at the top, but mostly we're talking about the downswing here, and what you talked about, he's being more stacked. Well, this is going to allow the club to come more down through this forearm, and to now for his path to be straight as he's coming through the ball. So he's not going to be swinging out to the right through the ball and have a tendency to hit those blocks and hooks. You'll also notice that he's also tamed down his body a lot since we looked back in the U.S. amateur days. Look at this right foot, barely coming off the ground, but his hips aren't spinning wildly out of control. His shoulders are nice and square as opposed to what they were as we were looking down in the early videos of Tiger. So this being stacked has helped him to become a little more consistent and to swing square and have a nice path through the ball. So lastly, let's go ahead and I want you to do a test for me. So now I want you to go ahead and make a fake downswing or a practice downswing, and on one of these downswings I want you to look in the mirror and make sure everything is stacked right up on top of each other. So your left hip, your left shoulder, and your ankle are stacked on top of each other, and notice how you can swing pretty squarely through the ball. Now what I want you to do is I want you to exaggerate one of Tiger's old changes, and I want you to lean back away from the target and to really get a lot of tilt. So here he's got a little bit of tilt where his left shoulder and left hip are behind this line. Let's go ahead and exaggerate. I want you to get tons of tilt. So if here's his spine, I want you to get way tilted away from the ball and then get your left shoulder way back here behind this left ankle. You can check this in the mirror so you know you're doing it correctly, and you're going to be leaning way back here somewhere away from the ball. Well, what this is going to do, you're going to notice how difficult it is to swing to the left if you're doing this. So if you're really tilted away from the target, so if your spine looks like this as you're coming into impact, which is what Tiger's doing here a little bit, notice how you want to swing way out to the right. You're going to want to hit some blocks and some hooks and some big draws if you do that. So try that out for me. You'll also notice it puts a little more strain on your left hip. It might even feel a little strain in your left knee as you're doing this. So it's a little bit less safe, and it's also going to lead to some big blocks and hooks. So try that out. Now, I have a fantastic drill for you to go ahead and start fixing this motion if you've been wanting to be stacked like you see Tiger here and like you hear a lot of people talking about. Now that we know that it's going to help us to promote not only a square path and limit injury, it's also going to help compression. If we can get stacked, we're going to be hitting down and through on a nice level or descending impact position, descending blow coming through that ball, and it's going to help to hit that ball and really compress it. So go ahead and watch this video. I'm going to attach on the right side of your screen. If you click that link, it's going to take you to the Start Your Downswing Before Your Backswing video. Now in this video, I have a fantastic drill. It's really simple, and you're going to be able to feel stacked, feel powerful, and start compressing the ball right away. So when you click this link, it'll take you to a page where you can sign up for your free membership. You're going to get 25 free videos, absolutely fantastic videos on all aspects of the swing. Plus you're going to get your Start Your Downswing Before the Backswing video, which is going to help you to get stacked, transition your weight, get weight on your left side, and really compress that golf ball. So I look forward to seeing you guys much more in the future. I can't wait to start helping you with your golf game. And good luck with your weight shift. Now it's time to take action. Don't let another year pass and still be frustrated with your golf game. This is your year to beat all of your friends. Go to the description below and click the link to sign up for your free membership. It will never cost you a dime, and you'll receive over 2.5 hours of detailed, eye-opening video lessons. Plus, you will be able to see the remainder of this video, only available if you click the link on this particular video. Be the first of your friends to join our 40,000 plus free members. We look forward to having you on our team.